Hello, guys, and welcome back to a very important episode of the Wasted Potential podcast. I'm Kellen, that's Caleb,
What's up?
and we're here with a special guest, Riley James Music. What's going on?
What's up? How are you guys?
Doing good, doing good. Glad to have you on, man.
How's it feel to be the first guest of the Wasted Potential podcast, man?
I mean, feels great. I'm happy to be here.
Very
It's
high
gonna be a lot of
honor.
fun.
We're very
gonna
well
be a lot
known
of fun.
around here, so.
So, Riley, if people listening don't know what you do or why we have you on, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself and what you do?
So basically, I like to think of myself as a musician or a music producer. I've been on it for like 2 years, but the first year of it was kind of like just getting down like basic things and discovering what I really was within music production, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this last year has kind of been like taking everything that I've developed and learned over that past year, and I'm just applying it all. And like, I mean, I just literally lock myself in my room and just do me and produce.
Sounds like you're living the life.
I mean, it makes me happy to do it, and I mean, like I don't know. I've just through the time that I've done it, I've got a lot of positive comments and a lot of and more support than I thought I would get, I guess, for being in this type of area and producing like the stuff I do. It's a very it's not very like the culture of it isn't really developed that well in the United States, but it's more developed over in like European countries. And for the support that I got here, and it's not like a immaculate amount or anything, but it's definitely more than I thought I would end up getting, so it's cool.
Yeah, well, I was checking out your SoundCloud and stuff like that, and I saw you were taking part in, like, what was it, tournaments or competitions for your music or something like that?
So, like, in the community that I'm in, well, not just that I'm in, I mean, anybody can compete in them. If an artist releases something and then they're in contact with another organization, then they can host contests. And, I mean, that's just how a lot of people start out. I mean, like, this coming year, I have a lot of my own, like, I guess my own singles, I guess you could call them. Because, like, this is the year where, like, I'm really gonna, like, this is the year where, like, I'm gonna break out, if you know what I'm saying. Like, last year I did, like, a bunch of, like, competition remixes and everything just to, like, kind of develop my personal image for the community. And then this year I've just done a lot of working on my own material, so then I can host the contests. And then basically what those are, they're just like, you just get the vocal through like a download link, and then anybody can compete, and then you submit it, and then the label that the original piece was signed to reviews it, and the two artists review it, and then if they like it, then you win the contest, and then you get the prizes that they offer.
That's pretty neat. See, I was wondering, like, how that worked with the copyright and everything like that, but it seems like the artist and all that's on board. So
yeah, like it's all permitted and everything, and because it's all through the original artist. So everybody that I've remixed has known that I've remixed them, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. So you said you were doing a lot of, like, remixes, things like that. So I was wondering if you were going to branch out, which you kind of said you were already doing. It seems like you do a lot of, like, EDM and electric music and things like that. Have you ever thought about doing, like, hip-hop beats or something like that? Or do you like what you're doing right now?
There's a lot of stuff behind what I release, kind of, because what it is like, what I release under the name of Riley James is a lot of like the electronic and like EDM style stuff, but like on my SoundCloud, like what a lot of people don't see is I have like probably 200 songs uploaded to SoundCloud that are just privated. They're just like there's hip hop beats, there's different style stuff, there's like pop stuff, radio friendly stuff, and like not the only reason, because I eventually would like to get into that and like expand into that field, but right now like my main focus is to develop the Riley James brand, if you know what I'm saying. Like, because when you get involved into something like this, like when I pitch something to a record label, like I'm pitching myself too. Like I'm pitching my name, I'm pitching my social medias, I'm pitching everything to them. So like it's right now for me to stick to one thing and push that one thing far. It'll be better once I push that and then my name is out there and then I start to release diverse stuff. Because right now I have I mean it's a small Instagram page. It's just like this side project thing that I call, like that where I'll eventually release like radio friendly, like really deep stuff kind of thing. Not like deep emotional stuff, but just like kind of like the stuff you hear on the radio.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, like stuff like that.
Gotcha, that makes sense. Caleb, did you have any questions you wanted to ask?
Yeah, so like basically kind of just what got you into it? Like what made you want to start doing this 2 years ago?
And kind of going off of that, like who are your inspirations? Like,
Yeah.
Something like that.
So I've always, growing up, I've always listened to not one style of music, if you know what I'm saying. Like whenever I would like listen to Apple Music when I was a kid, when I'd be playing video games or something, like I would always have like different variety of things in my playlists. And like I don't know, like when we were like younger, there was YouTube channels like Monster Cat that would like upload a bunch of songs and everything, and like all these guys would like use these kind of songs as like their YouTube outros or intros or whatever. And I don't know, like when I was just kind of not going through everything, but growing up, I guess I just kind of like connected with it differently. Like when I first heard it, I was like, I want to listen to more of this stuff. Like it's really interesting. And then eventually like it kind of spiraled into like where do these kind of things get played? Like where like are there concerts around that I could go to experience something like this? And then that's when I started to run into like the household names of like Martin Garrix, Matisse and Sadko, Dub Vision, all those guys. Like all those guys, I mean, those names are probably like really unfamiliar to the people listening, but like the people that I like am inspired by also are like in the general field of music production. So like a lot of these people are also like producing people's favorite rappers, but like they just don't get the credit for it, if you know what I'm saying, because like that type of thing doesn't really fit their name. So like guys like Martin Garrix, Dub Vision, Matisse and Sadko, the Chainsmokers are another one. Like just I don't know, like it was just one of those things where like I just kind of like connected with it, and then I finally told myself like I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens. And for the past, I say 1 year, because I mean realistically, like I've really only actually put my time into it for a year. Like the first year it was just like learning and everything. So like for the past year I've just kind of told myself like I'm gonna do it, and it's not even that I'm gonna do it like because I want to. It's like I've just kind of like fallen in love with it, I guess. Like it's just one of those things where it's like without it now, if I were to go without it now, it wouldn't be like I wouldn't even be me. And it's corny to say, but like that's just how it is. Like it's just become a part of me now.
Yeah, no, I get that though. it's good to have something that's that important to you and that you can do. And I mean, it sounds like you're really good at it. Like I was listening to some of your music and it sounds really polished. It sounds really good. But my question to
Thank you.
you is, do you have music from when you first started or something like that that is just so horrible that you wouldn't be caught dead
Oh, like
around it?
like I upgraded my computers and I should have thought of that for this and I could have brought some, but like when I had first started, like it was it was not even like it was just like a blob of sound pretty much. Like it was just like a blob of sound and like everybody goes through that and I was like sitting in my room and I was like, "Yo, this is a banger," but like no. No.
Well, I mean, it's good you stuck with it. I bet that would have turned a lot of people off from it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I like for that I've always kind of had like a keen ear for music. Like when I would hear it on the radio and everything, like I would like everybody listens to it, but I feel like when I would listen to it, I would kind of like really listen to it if you know what I mean. Like what makes up this, what makes up that, like why is that there? Oh, that makes sense, that doesn't make sense or whatever. Like do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um I've just always done that. So like when I first started releasing things on like SoundCloud and everything, I mean they weren't good, but like they were listened. Like you could listen to them. Like if you really wanted to, like you could tell what was happening. Like they were really bad, but like you could you could kind of pick up on what was going on if that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's good to have those type of things that when
Oh
you
yeah.
first start, because then you can look back at it and you can be like, wow, I have put all my time and effort into this and it's really paid off.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I've
I
really
still do
grown.
that. I still do that to this day. Like whenever I go through like a creative block or a writing block when I can't think of anything, like I'll go back and listen to all of my old material and I'll just be like, wow. Like I've really like come a long way. And it's not even like I sit here like and when that happens like I think about quitting. Like it's that I've never once like thought about quitting or want to quit in any way shape or possible. Like I don't even see myself quitting. Um it's just like when you get into one of those like stages of like a creative block or a writing block for me, like it's just like, oh well like I'm not that good and then I'll listen to like somebody that's like does this for a living and I'm like they're so much better than me and then it's just like I just have to like humble myself with my own material, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's certainly tough seeing all the people who are so successful with everything. And it's like you're doing the exact same thing, but they just have more exposure or whatever it be, and they get their
Yeah.
music out there. Um,
Yeah.
but it's definitely, the grind is going to be worth it, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, like this year alone, I like my 2020 didn't really go as well as I thought it was going to because over the quarantine, I told myself that I was going to like release a lot and I think I only ended up, well, I mean, I guess we're still in quarantine, so I guess if you count um I guess you can count all three of my recent releases to be in quarantine. But they weren't like like I didn't really hit quarantine like I really wanted to. Like when I say quarantine, I mean like literally everybody was locked in their house and everybody was scared to go outside, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't really hit that as hard as I wanted to. So like the end of last year, like October on, I really made up for it and I think like if this year goes as planned, like I should have like 6 or 7 signed releases done deal.
I guess a question I would have for you is you seem to be putting out a lot more music, or at least planning to put out a lot more music now. Is there a favorite song that you have that's either released or not released, something you're working on that you're really excited for?
I have I have a mentor slash coach slash songwriting partner slash friend, I guess. His name is his name's Robbie Rosen, and he was on American Idol when we were growing up, and he went on the show, and I bumped into well, I didn't bump into him, but I one of my friends released something and he was doing the vocal for it, and I was like, this is crazy, like this is a crazy song. So I messaged him on Instagram and was like, hey, like I see you're like a mentor and whatnot, like I'm really trying to get better, like I want you to coach me kind of thing, and I want to build up I want to build up a friendship and like build up a connection. And he was completely cool about it. He was like, yeah, man, like send me some of your stuff and whatever. And he liked it. So we do this thing like every Friday usually. I meet with him and we write like we just write lyrics like crazy to all of my instrumental music. And I think right now me and him have like four releases planned for 2021 alone, and then I have two more later in 2021, and then one more hopefully before it ends. And I'm probably most excited for, well, I'm most excited for one with him and Robbie, with me and Robbie, and it's with another producer. He's from Chile. He's either, he might be a year younger than us or our age, and he's like incredible, like super nice. I talk to him every day, like he's my homie, like he's just a super cool dude. Like we just started it like maybe 2 weeks ago and it's already almost done, so like I'm really excited for that one.
That's pretty awesome that you're
Like, super
able to
excited.
branch out with other people and other producers who are kind of established already.
Yeah, and then there's actually another one that I'm pretty excited for. There's well, I can't say names on this one, but I can say it's with Robbie because it's not really like confirmed yet, but it would be pretty huge if it was confirmed. But there's also another one in there with a pretty big artist.
You working with any of the local rappers?
I mean, there's been people that have like messaged me and told me to do it, but then like I'm actually trying to do it, but then like everything just kind of falls through, so I don't really like it's not like my ego's big or anything, but I'm just not trying to waste my time, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean. Like
yeah.
I'm not going to go out of my way to do something for you and then you just not return the favor. So I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I've known that you've been doing this for a while, and I knew that you were big, and especially after looking on SoundCloud with all these views and listens that you get, and I knew that you were big, but I didn't realize that you were like branching out this much, and it really sounds like you've grown a lot.
Like my following doesn't really kind of say that. Like I only have like 80 SoundCloud followers, but for the releases that I have on SoundCloud, I think all of them are over like 2K streams, which once again, it's not like
It's not
it's
huge.
not like whoa,
but,
it's not like whoa, this kid's famous, but it's like
but for
okay,
just
like
starting,
those are respectable numbers in
Yeah.
my opinion. Like this, like I mean, I just did a lot of it in private. Like I haven't even really told like the closest people that I know about it. Like I mean, I've just like really put my head down to it and just like literally locked myself in my room and was just like if I want to do this for a living, like I need to like do it. Like I mean, nobody's gonna do it for me, so I really took the time to branch out. I'm in touch with guys through Robbie who has like endless connections. I like on Spotify. I think Robbie has like 600,000 monthly listeners. I mean, my first release only brought me like I think I'm at like 500 monthly listeners right now, which is still like it's
Yeah.
still cool, but like 600,000 is like there's a lot through that, and like I know a bunch of people like above him, through him, like it's I don't want to like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh well, like one day I'm gonna make it big, but like eventually the wheels on the wagon are gonna start to roll, and they're gonna start to roll like really soon, and they're gonna start to roll quick. That's what I'll say. Like
So
I have
that's-
a lot of stuff planned.
So that's the main goal then, is to get that big or bigger.
Yeah, like The ultimate thing with musicians is that a lot of people see these big guys and they're like, oh well, like if you're not that big, like you can't, like like if you're not wheeling in like $8 million in sales every time you release, like you're nothing. But like there's a lot of people that I know that make six figures off this, and like they just like people don't even know, like, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
people literally have no idea who they are. And at the end of the day, that's the ultimate goal, is to make a comfortable living and make people happy.
Yeah, so is this something you want to keep doing as you get older? Like, are you going to go to college for music production or something like that? Or do you have something else in mind? What are your thoughts about that?
So basically, music school in America sucks.
Yeah.
If anybody is listening to this and was like wanting to be a musician or anything, like I've already done all the research for you. Music school in America sucks. Um, what I'm doing is I'm just gonna go work, and I'm gonna work a full time job, and then like in my free time, I mean it's still plenty of free time. Like I'm gonna work a full time job, and then I'm gonna like in my free time I'm just gonna make music, and then with the money that I get from my full time job, it's going straight into like I'm basically investing into myself with my own money that I'll be like earning. I'll like upgrade my computer. I'll upgrade this. I'll upgrade that. I'll pay for this. I'll pay for that. Like it's once this once this summer hits and I turn 18 and get like a full time job lined up, like I'm investing so much money into it, and I'm like that's when things will like I see happening, like taking off kind of. Once again, not like complete stardom, but just like
Yeah.
taking off, like if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's like a lot of people listening right now that are like thinking to themselves that what you just said, like what you're playing, doesn't sound like something that they would ever want to do, or it doesn't sound like maybe like the smartest. But when you look at it, when you look back at it in a couple of years, it's all gonna like pay off. You know, it's all
Oh
gonna
yeah, like
everything's gonna work.
like it's one of those things where like I know that I know that I'm gonna do it. Like there's nothing that's gonna get in my way from not letting me do it. There's nothing that's going to stop me from doing it. Like when I go on vacations, I bring my laptop with me and like write on the plane, or like write when I'm on vacation. I'm a complete nerd for this stuff. There's absolutely no stopping me, and I know that there's no stopping me. Like I have old text messages from when me and my sister would first talk about this. Like I was like I think I was a late 15 when I started. And then like when I was like 15, I was texting my sister like I'm there's nothing that you're going to be able to say, or mom and dad are going to say, or anybody's going to say that's going to be able to stop me. I think I told my parents like I would literally, not my parents, my sister. I told them I was like I would like live on the side of the street. Like that's just how much I love it. Like I don't care. Like that's literally just how much I love it.
Yeah, well,
And
it's good to be
that's
that committed to it.
Yeah, that's the mentality to have. That's the mentality that a lot of these people that are, you know, trying to do this, and they're like, oh, I'm going to do this, saying the things that you're saying, but they don't put in that work, they fall off. And then those are the people that outside people look at and are like, oh, that's why it doesn't work. You know, but when you have the mentality that you have, it's a lot different.
Like I want to be one of the examples where like you can do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can.
You got to look at like Kanye or like even Logic, somebody like that, and how they had to grind for so long before they even got the
Yeah.
recognition. I mean, like Kanye was going crazy back in the '90s, making beats every day, and
Yeah,
I mean,
like
that's
that's
something.
just it's all part of the hustle. I mean, if you want to do it, then like I believe if you want to do something, the only thing that stops you from doing it is you. Like you just control the things that you can't. You just control the things that you can control, and that your actions towards something that you want to do is 100% in your full control.
So you've kind of already said it a little bit, but if you could say one thing to anybody that was kind of maybe not in your spot right now, but looking to be in your spot, or looking to be, or is where you were a couple of years ago, what would you say to them?
Um, I would say to them to get to a place within your field where you are comfortable to either talk about it or um, show people what's going on. Because when I was going through the like the process, I guess, because I'm still in the process, but my early process, one of the hardest things was talking to people about it, because like it was one of those things where it was like, oh, if I bring this up, like I'll get clowned or whatever, like this and that. But like if you have like that outlet, and if you have that connection with someone where like you can sit down and just like literally talk about like your goals and dreams and aspirations, like it's just so much more motivating to keep going, because you're connecting with someone that wants success for you and is willing to listen. Like people that are willing to listen are a really good outlet and a really good key to keep moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly great to have somebody believing in you. Even if it's only one person, it doesn't really matter. That's just sometimes being the only person gets tough or whatever. Having somebody else there really helps motivate you. And it seems like you have that motivation to keep growing. I mean, if you look at your SoundCloud, you're pulling a lot of views for somebody who really doesn't market himself too much.
Yeah.
And once you start branching out even more and getting more exposure, I'm sure you'll be able to blow up pretty quick.
Yeah, I touched on it a little bit earlier. Like 2021, I really want to be my year. Like if things go as planned, if things go as planned this year, like beginning of next year, middle 2022, I'm looking at getting like a team around me so that we can just keep pushing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Like that's something I probably should start to look into now, to be honest, is getting like an agent or a manager, because then that's when, even though like clubs and everything are shut down, like if I need to, like after this year I need to start getting in clubs and like playing DJ gigs and like getting like playing in front of people and then starting to market myself. That's after these releases and during these releases is when that's going to take effect. You'll definitely see a lot more of that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're all looking forward to it. See what's going on.
I mean, I'm extremely excited for it, because, you know, like it's just a small town thing, you know, where it's just like I just keep it in the side of my head, like there's like, I know it's not true, because I'm sure that there are people who believe in me, but like I just tell myself like there's not a single person here that believes in me, and I'm gonna prove this whole place wrong.
You got to make it out somehow.
Yeah. Gotta have that motivation.
That's just what it is. Like that's just like, it's just like, that's just how I think. Like not a single person here believes in me, and I'm gonna prove every single person wrong.
Yeah. Well, Caleb, do you have any more questions for him or anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, we kind of touched on this a little bit. Which one was like your favorite? But like of the tracks, especially like on SoundCloud, I guess, of the tracks that you have released, is there one that you look back on and it's like having like the most fun creating, I guess?
Probably the one that I've had the most fun creating was the remix that I just got signed and released through Swatch Music. That one was a lot of fun, just because if you had heard my older material, it's kind of different. Like it's like I kind of stepped out of my comfort zone. But when I stepped out of my comfort zone, when I was producing it, like I was just loose. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, I'm just gonna do this, and if it doesn't work, I'm gonna try something else. And like, I don't know. I just felt like, I don't know. It's just like, I just kind of felt like, I don't know. It just kind of came natural, I guess. That one did. But there are other ones, like the one release that I have, the remix for Wild Crow. I listen to that now and I'm like, what was I thinking? That's another part of it, is like everything that I have out now is like, even the remix that I just got signed and released, like I still listen to it and I'm like, what was I thinking? Like this could be so much better.
Really? I think that's
Yeah.
surprising. I was listening to the Last of the Sun song that you recently released.
Yeah.
I really liked that one. I thought it sounded pretty professional. I wouldn't assume that somebody from where we are would be able to make something like that.
I mean,
But I mean,
like
it
yeah,
speaks to
that,
you.
that one was fun. That one was fun, and like I still hear that, and like I could have done better, which sucks. I hate that.
But also that's
But
a
it's
good
a
thing
good,
because you
yeah.
constantly want to improve.
Yeah, that helps you have that motivation to improve. And I mean, a lot of people say you gotta have confidence in yourself for anything that you do. This doesn't involve this involves everything outside of music as well. You gotta have confidence in what you do, but at that same time, you gotta have that mentality that I did good on that. That was a good whatever it was. That was good, but I could do so much better.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a confidence booster, and at the same time, it's not because you're like, oh, like why, what was I thinking, kind of thing. Like I said, it's just like I hear, and like that's what's kind of crazy about it. Like that was a perfect example. Like you guys hear that, and you're like, wow, like this is like really good. Like it's a professional sounding thing, but like I hear that, and I'm like, oh my god, what was I thinking? Like that to me, that's just like a crazy thing. Like that's just like, it's just like, I don't know. Like that's just crazy to me. I can't even really explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it also has to do with you were the one who made it, so you know
Yeah.
everything that
Yeah.
went into
Everyone-
it, and you might know slight imperfections that other people might not hear. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a big thing.
Yeah, like everyone,
that's-
no
yeah.
matter what you're creating, whether it's music or art or really anything, if you're the one that made it and you look at it, you see all those tiny things that you messed up on. You see like just the tiny things that you couldn't really fix, or you see the things that you could have gone back and fixed but you didn't. And it makes you not like it, but everyone else, they don't really see that.
I mean, like it's one of those things where like I don't even listen to my own stuff, to be honest. Like if it comes on, I'll listen to it, but like when I get into the car, like I don't. It's not like the first thing I put on. Like it's not like it's weird. Like it's because when you're sitting there for like 30 hours, 40 hours, and you're putting time into it, you don't get sick of it, but like you already know what it sounds like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a big
Like-
thing with the podcast too, especially listening to them so many times and they're so long. It's like once you're done
Yeah.
editing it for maybe the second time, you're like, oh, I never want to listen to this
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's like it's just like, wow, I've listened to this like 70 times. I know like exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you just
I'm just
know
not-
what is going to happen next, and it kind of takes
Yeah.
away from that excitement. But
Yeah. So like I like to take time and then go back and be like humble myself again and be like, whoa, like I did that. Like that's cool.
yeah, I was just gonna say maybe we could step away from music for a second and talk about if there's anything else outside of music that maybe you're passionate about, or hobbies that you're into, or just kind of learn about Riley a little bit more.
Like I'm a pretty normal person. I mean, I like candy. I like milkshakes. I like pizza. I really am enjoying playing basketball right now. I like to play sports. I mean, I'm just like you would look at me and you would just think I'm kind of like a normal teenager, but like behind the scenes, I'm a teenager with a crazy music dream and a crazy ambition for it. I mean, I'm literally like just as normal as they come. I mean, I had a snowmobile. I crashed it, but I mean, I like to ride snowmobiles too. I actually, well, it's part of music, but like writing, I like to write sometimes.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Have you ever thought about doing like lyrics or something for your songs?
I would never, ever, 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 ever sing on one of my songs.
Well, maybe not
Okay.
sing, but like write the lyrics.
Oh yeah, like when I meet with Robbie on Fridays, like the 4 songs that I have out with him, like I wrote with him.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like yeah, I write all the time for music, or just if I'm bored, I'll sit down and write.
But you're not a singer.
No, not even a single chance will I ever sing on one of my releases. I mean, maybe you could hear, like, if you listen close enough, you could maybe hear me doing something into my microphone, some like stupid sound, but I put a lot of effects on it. You can't really you can't really tell, but like that's in there. Like that's in there, but like I would never sit down and sing.
Gotta get the Playboy Cardi ad-libs in there.
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. That was a good episode.
Yeah.
Riley, do you want
that was
to
fun.
shout out your channel, your
Or promote
SoundCloud and
anything,
all
yeah.
that?
I mean, go follow me on Spotify. That's probably the most important one. It's Riley James on Spotify, SoundCloud, Riley James Music on Instagram. I think that's all of my main socials. I mean, I'm not gonna drop my Snapchat, but
We'll have the links to everything in the bio too, or the
yeah,
description.
Yeah, we'll
that's-
put links.
if for whatever reason, if anybody wanted to reach out or anything, you can DM me on Instagram, ask me questions, whatever. If anybody is like looking to get into this type of thing, like I would be more than happy to help, to like coach you, show you, like be like a mentor type thing. But all I ask is that like you want it. Like I'm not gonna want more for your future than you want for your own future. But yeah, I mean, Spotify, Riley James, SoundCloud, Riley James, Instagram, Riley James Music. When I get some more things figured out, I'll be on Twitch streaming, like music creation, YouTube streaming. But those will all be announced later. But for now, that's all I can that I can share, that I can think of.
Yeah, and we'll probably put a post up or a story or something, so if you guys go check that out, and we'll have links and everything directly to all his stuff. So make sure you go check him out. And anything else we got, boys?
Everybody
good.
follow the Wasted Potential podcast.
Yeah,
too.
follow
Oh,
us
yeah.
too. Make sure you hit that follow and like button.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, this is a good
Well,
episode.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Hopefully in a little bit, when you are a little bit bigger maybe and you have done some new things, we can have you back on to talk about that.
I'd love to.
Yeah, so thank you guys very much for listening to this very special episode of the Wasted Potential podcast. Once again, make sure you go hit Riley up on his Spotify. Hit Riley up on his Spotify and SoundCloud. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Wasted Potential Podcast. And I think that's it.
See you guys.
I think that's
See you
it.
guys.
See you later. Thank you.